again. Big opening. Pass 5. Pass 10. Perko's a man. And he goes all the way to the 15-yard line. 17 yards of the carry.
Welcome back to the Believe in Badger Football podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. I'm your host, Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, Shana Tova to you and to all of our friends. They're happy Rosh Hashanah. And, we got to start the year off, hopefully, cleanse ourselves of what we just saw this weekend.
We need to cleanse ourselves of this weekend. Yes. Yes, please. I know we were texting the whole game. Oh, man. Just, I know if you're a Badger fan and you're listening to this, it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
So we'll try to dive deep into our thoughts without getting too overly upset. Although if you could picture me and my wife gave up halfway through, and I'm like, no, I'm not giving up on these guys. And I'm not giving up on them, but we're not going to drill down so hard on individuals.
No.
But we are going to have to drill down on things that we saw in the game that were a little confusing.
Absolutely. Well, fortunately for myself, I did not wager on this game. I don't wager on the Badgers in general. But for those of you who do, the number one place to do that is betonline.ag. They are the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, golf, and most importantly, college football. Head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and use our promo code BELIEVE50 to get a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV50. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, Bern, it is Monday morning, fullback time. You know what that means. We're going to put 15 minutes up on the clock, and we are going to talk about what we witnessed on Saturday night. And I'm sorry that, I'm sorry I have to bring back these memories, Bern. I know it's been a tough 24 hours for all of us, but,
the question is, when did the game start for the Badgers? Ooh, everything's pretty tough. It's really going to be tough.
It was tough. I mean, they got blitzed in the first quarter, and they don't have the type of offense that can play catch up. It's not who they are.
Oh man, let's just dive in.
Yeah,
the play calling to me was so bad.
It was so bad.
It looks like the play calling of old. We're not trying to be competitive. It looks like we're trying to play our game, but down 21, down more, 28. Like, dude, get out of the game plan. It's not run the ball as much as you want. It's not run on first down. And please, we got to stop running on first down. Like, we're the most blatantly, you don't even need a genie's ball to know what we're going to do. You just need to watch one game. And it's the same stuff over and over again. And honestly, like, it hurts to watch. And, when we're playing down, we got to take some shots and we got to do some things. We can't run the ball 2 downs, then incomplete on third down, punt the ball away. And we'll get there. But I think my major, first off, okay, hold on. Let's go back. My negatives for the game are that I think we got outcoached, which is very surprising to me. Like, outcoached, hardcore outcoached.
The defense looked lost at times, lost. And I don't recall seeing that in 6 years of Jim Leonhard.
So not just look, every facet of the game. So listen. I think we got outcoached. I think that is apparent. Anyone who watched the game could see.
Absolutely.
I have 3 things I hate. I love Herb Street. I can't stand watching a game, especially that he does at Ohio State. If he says Ryan Day again, like if you took a shot for every time he said Ryan Day, you'd be blacked out till like Thursday. Like, the dude pumped up Ohio State. Like, they're the best team. They're in the NFL. They're Tom Brady played. Like, dude, you got to stop. Okay, so that it was just frustrating to watch him the whole time, listening to him just pump those dudes up. Listen, they deserve a lot of accolades. At one point, this is how embarrassing it got to me. At one point, they interviewed Brutus. That to me is like
the mascot who can't say anything.
You can't even talk. And they interviewed him. As a Badger fan, I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like that to me was disgusting, and I hated it. Cool, yeah, you guys think it's funny? It's not funny. The dude got run over with this globe of a human. Like, who cares? I don't know. Okay, so that makes me sick. I think we got outcoached tremendously. We could talk about the ways that happened. I think we have a huge issue, and I think it has not been addressed, and I am really concerned. And it is a very important, I don't know how to say this without being like kind, but the fact that we don't have a special teams coach is not how you run your college football team.
No, it's
I don't know how that makes sense.
It's negligent.
And you can see it.
It's negligent.
Because I actually agree, because we've had missed field goals in a game that we could have won, should have won. We had 3. Now, listen, these are individual issues. We had 3 punts that were shanked. We don't have a guy who's there watching these teams seriously. Let's say I'm Al Johnson, right? I'm not. I don't know what he coaches, but if I'm coaching kick return, I'm not really watching it. I'm not looking at cut ups. I'm not in the box. I'm not getting talked to by.
You're worried about your running backs.
Yeah, you're worried about the running backs. That's the biggest facet of the game. You think kickoff return to me is that important? No, it's like 1/20,000. So it's so frustrating because we're screwing up in that area. We're not winning. We haven't won the special teams side.
No.
In any of the games. And when you play against Ohio State, they took advantage. All those kicks were touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And what I'm very upset about, and I don't know if, like, you and I talked about this, Coach Kristen is in his after game interview said that he got the wrong information.
Let's set the stage here. So this is
set the stage, and then I'll tell you what I think.
So this was in the second half, when Wisconsin started the drive, like right at their own at the 2-yard line, I believe. And this was where are we? 6 minutes left in the third. So they start at the 2-yard line. And they get the ball. It's 4th down, and there's a penalty. There's a penalty on the kick. We don't know exactly what the penalty was, but it was on Ohio State.
No, it was they went over the center. You can't line up over the center.
Line up over the center. So, and Chris declined the penalty because apparently the ref told him they would have to just have the ball from the 4-yard line again. Which I don't know how that could happen if there was a penalty in the first punt was on the 4. That has to at least go to the 9. That's at least a 5-yard penalty.
At least,
that I think.
And we shanked it.
And it was a shank punt. And then Chris' explanation. You guys will link to this in the show notes. Jake Kokorowski, friend of the show. We literally texted him the second time. Was like, please ask Chris about this in the post-game press conference. Jake came through. Thank you, Jake. We will link to that here. But basically, Coach Chris said that he got bad information and didn't want to repunt from the shadow of his own goalpost again, considering that they got it out. But my first thing when I think that was it was a crap punt, and then that was then returned to they got it at the Wisconsin 38. Like, I mean, how much worse could it be?
They're already in field goal territory.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. I'm trying to be as sad as possible because we have games coming up. When you say negligent, to me, it is because when you have a special teams coach who knows the ins and outs of everything special teams, that penalty doesn't need to be explained. That coach will say, we are accepting it and we are repunting.
Absolutely.
To not do that, to decline a 5-yard penalty. First off, I think the refs were all for Ohio State. You could see it in a lot of different things. Listen, I just think that's true. Okay,
I'm not disagreeing. I did text my group chat at one point that apparently Wisconsin is playing against both Ohio State and the refs during the game, so that's understandable.
First off, for the refs to mess that up is embarrassing. But for Coach Kristen, so the issue to me is you don't have a special teams coach. You're getting misinformation from a ref. That is terrible, right? But if you had a coach, he would have known. Like, they would have known, like, no, we're repunting, and that is a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
To to me, that sums up. It sums it up, and it's scary that we don't have a special teams coach, and it's heir apparent that we need one. And the fact that we don't have one, I don't understand.
Well, and what happens when they had one last year and the special teams still needed some work, and then they just got rid of them? I don't know how you think that getting rid of a defined coach for that is going to make the unit better when it was already like one of the worst units on the team. That's what never made sense to me. Also, from just an administrative standpoint, like I don't quite get it. You're really
asking your coaches to stretch tremendously when I don't know who's doing what, because I haven't looked into it, which I apologize for. But let's say you have the O-line coach is now doing punt return. How much is he focusing on punt return? The O-line didn't look very good, and guys are hurt. So you're focusing on a certain aspect of your job, and now you're asked to do some special team. Literally, I'm sure they're putting their heart and soul into the special teams, but they just don't know about it. That's not their job.
Well, and they can't put the requisite amount of time into it that they need to.
Totally
if you have to do both your position, which is obviously going to take priority, and then I have punt return unit. Like you don't have the time to dedicate to it, and that's why you have a dedicated special coach team.
Oh my God. That to me is so frustrating. It's really is. It's just like, dude, get a guy who can take control of that area and let him just do it. Don't just put your random other coaches to do it. Okay, so let's get off of that for a second.
Let's get off of that. So I actually want to
go somewhere.
I want to go. I want to take a completely 90-degree turn. I want to talk about the offensive line. They did not have Riley Mahlman and Jack Nelson. And so first of all, I want to point out Trey Wettig, who got the start at right tackle, his first career start in the horseshoe, and he was the best offensive lineman in the game. He was fantastic. I thought that kudos to him for stepping up in a big spot. I don't think he had any penalties on the 75-yard run from Braylon. He pinned two guys at once to spring him. Like, it was his block that sprung Braylon and allowed him to go 75 yards. Like, he deserves a very special shout out. So in a game that didn't have a lot of highlights for me, that was a huge highlight. That was really good to see that he could play at that level. I thought, Brown had the one personal foul playing left tackle, being, thrown over to playing left tackle. He held up actually relatively well. He had I think he had one or two penalties. It's tough. You're out there against 5-star Jack Sawyer. You're out there, 5-star after 5-star just being thrown at you. It's not easy. So, it's not like I said, it's not an easy thing. I was impressed with Wettig. I thought Bordellini did fine, but it just, not having your bookend tackles against the most talented on paper defense, or one of the most talented on paper defenses in the conference, is never going to be an easy task. So, I think that does bode well for the future. And the other thing I will note is that Braylon ran really hard. Really hard. I'm glad he broke off that 75-yarder. Yes, I know he was averaging 4.1 yards per carry besides that touchdown, blah, 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 blah.
But he was over 100 yards already.
But you need to pound that. You need to soften them up to get it to the place where you can spring that big one. So I'm not concerned about that. And that's who he is as a running back.
Listen, yes, I get it. But we did that game plan, and he scored we had 7 points in the second quarter, and then 14 in the fourth.
Yep.
They had 21-14,
21-10, 14-7.
Okay. So the problem is you can't do that, though. You cannot keep pounding. And listen, Braylon ran his heart out. I think guys, they all tried. I'm not saying no one tried.
No, of course they all
I'm more frustrated with the coaching and the play calling.
Yeah.
Dude, you had nothing new. Actually, the only cool play I liked was the Isaac Garendo motion to the what's it called? To the jet sweep. Mm-hmm. The first 5 or 6 plays I really actually liked. I texted you and I was like, man, I like the play calling. And then from there it went right back to our vanilla, terrible, consistent, which is not a good word, offense. And I think that is not where we want to be. I think dudes made mistakes, either mental or just, drop balls, almost a touchdown to get us back in the game. I thought at the end, it was the first quarter, the first half. That was hard. Mm-hmm. Listen, guys, I bet you everyone in the locker room saying, I wish I had plays back. right? So now we got to move forward. I was shocked to me, it's coaching, because it wasn't like dudes were in the right place to make plays. Dudes were 5 yards away from their running backs, from their guys, 5 yards away from the wide receivers. It's almost like we had no game plan. Like, we just didn't know what we were doing. And it was pretty wild to me. I've never seen our team look so kind of lost out there on both sides of pretty much every side of everything in the game.
Yeah.
But to me, that's how I think we got out coached. 11 guys on defense, where all guys were getting blocked, no one was getting off, and dudes were not in the place to make a play.
No.
Because they must have averaged 10 yards a play, 7-8 yards a play.
They averaged 10 yards a pass and 6 yards a run.
It's impossible to win on that alone.
Yeah.
But that just says we weren't 5 yards near anybody. I mean, they had some dudes. Listen, I'll say some of those plays on offense I've never seen before in my entire life. And, that's coaching. They outcoached us.
Yep.
And I hate that. And, to me, the play calling, you're not putting our guys in places to be successful.
No.
They're
not. The one other thing I'm going to find, I'm doing my best to find the positives, Brent. I got to find the positives right now.
Do it.
The running backs,
we didn't give up.
The running backs all did a very good job in pass protection. I don't think I saw any running back get beat on a blitz.
Yeah, and Braylon caught a lot of passes.
Braylon threw a pass.
Yeah. And he threw a pass. I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I know we have 30 seconds. The Wildcat to me is kind of cool. And it's good to break it out like this. And it actually was successful, so I'm going to be fine. But you can't, if that's what you're wasting your time on, dude, let's waste our time on actual pass plays.
Can we please
play action
plays. I'm just I'm done with Braylon.
Where's the jumbo?
Where's the jumbo, or I'm also tired of Graham under center traditional 5 and 7 step drops. Just forget about it. You're either if he's under center and he's going to pass, I need a play action, because otherwise he never feels comfortable. If he's in the shotgun, he's fine. But he also has no time. He doesn't have time to get.
No time.
He got
time.
It's so bad.
I know we're done. I know you texted me. I know everyone's going to be hating. We did have a fullback score. Yes, I was very happy.
Yes, we did.
However, I find it hard after what happened, transpired, to chug a beer. I mean, I wanted to, I just couldn't get off. Well,
you know what's going to happen is when Alec and Gold comes on the podcast here in a couple of weeks, you guys might have to chug one together.
I'll definitely chug one.
His Dolphins beat my Bills today too. It's just been a bad weekend all around here. So,
I mean, the Jets look terrible.
Yeah, but the Jets are supposed to look terrible. The difference is that the Bills are supposed to be the best team in the NFL.
Dude, it's a hard week. Let's just have a happy new year. And get back on track. You know what? Listen, all these games right now, we can still see Ohio State, right? They're not in our division. We have a lot to play for. We can still go to the Big Ten championship.
Yes, easily.
That's the only thing you should be thinking
I shouldn't say easily, because as much as I hate to say
a lot of teams look good.
Minnesota looks really good.
Minnesota looks
really good. And that's scary.
I don't like scary. That. We can only get better.
I don't like a good Minnesota.
We can only get better. Yeah, we have to get better. Listen, we're not good. That's not the product you saw against Ohio State is not what you'll see. Also, let's take a step back. That team is the number 3, possibly best team in the nation right now. And we are not there yet.
No.
And listen, we fought to the end. You got to give it up for our guys.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to work on.
Yep.
There's a lot to work on.
Yep.
If we have a special teams coach, who knows if the games are different? I think we would have won Washington State. I think guys who are watching the kickers. I know we have Taylor Melhoff, so I know he's on these dudes, but he's not the head of the special teams. I know we've gotten way over.
He's not on the field.
He is on the field, but what power do you have as an assistant coach? You're not the head guy to say these are the dudes that should be doing it. Someone could override you, right?
Yeah.
So either make him the head coach and let him just do it, and be like give him that power. or find a dude who can do it. I say give it to Taylor. What's going to happen now? You don't have anyone. Upgrade him. Let him get paid a little more. And let's have a guy who knows the rules and be like, Coach Chris, this is lunacy that you're declining this penalty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Throw a flag on the refs.
Last thing. Clay, keep Clay Cundiff in your thoughts.
Devastating.
Absolutely
devastating.
It's the other leg. It's not the same leg that he broke last year, but it's still devastating. I feel for the kid. He was playing so well this season, and everyone seems to love him. I know him and Graham are very close, and it's tough, man. It's really tough to have to back-to-back season-ending injuries, man. It's
coming from having a season-ending injury, it is the worst thing. Yeah. So I hope that he's surrounded by people he loves, and he's just getting someone to talk to him every day.
Yeah,
because that wasn't available for me, and there's a lot of Madison. There's a lot of bad things you could be doing instead of getting your mental right. And I know these dudes are not the same as like we were, but I hope there's somebody there every day talking to him, just keeping him, easy going.
Yep.
He looks like a great dude, and keeping him on track. Listen, he's got to get in the training room. He's got to probably get surgery, whatever it is. Just keep him on the straight and narrow. That's I wish I could just walk up and say sorry and be a shoulder, but cuts like a knife. Let's not go there.
It's brutal.
So we end on like a horrible note.
I don't want to say that. Do you want on a horrible note? We get to play Illinois at home next week, so that's a nice little soother.
We need it. We need it. But you know what? Don't sleep on.
Brett Bielema, Chase Brown's a really good running back, so yeah, don't sleep on them either.
And Brett has a vendetta against Wisconsin. I'm sure.
I don't know. No, he shouldn't have a vendetta. He left us. Yeah, we didn't kick him to the curb. No. There's no. If there's any vendetta, it's the other way around.
Listen, yes, but I don't think people were very kind when he said he was leaving.
I was one of those people who was not very kind. So, yeah.
I just thought he was crazy to go to Arkansas and try to fight against.
You're right.
Saban.
Right.
It's nuts, but he got paid.
Yes, he did. He got paid very handsomely.
I will. I'll go to Arkansas to let Saban punch me in the face once a year, 25 times. We get paid millions of dollars to let that happen. It's horrible, but it's true.
It is true. All right, Byrne. Well, we'll be back later this week with another guest.
Take a breath. We got a long season.
It's still September.
And we can still be in the Big Ten championship.
You can still win the Big Ten championship.
That's what I'm saying. Big Ten champs. Yep. Still there.
Rose Bowl. Still there.
Still there. Hey, chance to play Ohio State again.
There you go.
Bigger stage. Who knows?
In Indy. Neutral cloud.
Who knows? It's exciting.
All right. Well, we'll be back later this week. We appreciate you guys. And until next time, and always on Wisconsin.
On Wisconsin.